So today, let me take you through the story of the ancient Harappan civilization. Watch till the end, because this isn't just history. This is the story of us. The story doesn't begin with an archaeologist. It begins with a fugitive. Back in 1826, in the Punjab region of British India, now part of Pakistan, a British soldier named James Lewis deserted the army of the British East India Company. To hide his identity, he changed his name to Charles Masson. He wandered across the land like a drifter, and one day he came across something strange. In the middle of a deserted plain stood massive mounds of ancient bricks. The locals called the place the home of ghosts. Masson wrote in his diary that these looked like the ruins of an ancient city, possibly from the time of Alexander the Great. What he didn't realize was that what he was looking at was over 2,000 years older than Alexander himself. He was staring at the ruins of Harappa, but at the time nobody paid attention to him. 30 years later, in 1856, a terrible mistake nearly erased this civilization forever. The British were building a railway line between Karachi and Lahore. They needed stones and bricks to lay beneath the tracks. Workers discovered the ruins of Harappa nearby. Millions of perfectly baked bricks were scattered across the site. The British engineers thought, free bricks. Without realizing their importance, they tore apart ancient Harappan buildings and used those 5,000-year-old bricks under the railway tracks. Historians believe nearly 160 kilometers of railway line were built using bricks from Harappa. A huge part of one of the world's oldest civilizations was literally crushed beneath train wheels. Then came the year 1920. The Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India was Sir John Marshall. Alongside him worked two Indian archaeologists, Dayaram Sani and Rakaldas Banerjee. Sani began excavating Harappa, while Banerjee started digging another mysterious mound in Sindh, called Mohenjo-daro, which in the Sindhi language means mound of the dead. As the dirt was cleared away, the world was shocked by what emerged. This wasn't some primitive village. This was a full-blown metropolitan city, straight roads intersecting each other at perfect 90-degree angles, multi-story houses made from baked bricks, private wells and bathrooms inside homes, and most shocking of all, a covered drainage system. Every house was connected to a central sewage network. At a time when even cities like London and Paris didn't have proper sanitation systems, people in the Indian subcontinent had already mastered urban planning 5,000 years earlier. John Marshall announced to the world that the history of India was no longer 2,000 years old. It was over 5,000 years old. One of the biggest mysteries of the Indus Valley Civilization is its unbelievable standardization. From Harappa to Mohenjo-daro, from Lothal to Kalibangan, this civilization stretched across nearly 1 million square kilometers. Yet every city looked strangely similar. The size of bricks was standardized. The weights and measurements were standardized. Even the width of the roads followed the same pattern. And remember, this happened without the internet, without phones, without modern transportation. So how was such consistency possible across such a massive region? Was there a powerful central government controlling everything? Or were these people simply disciplined enough to follow shared rules voluntarily? When we study civilizations like Egypt or Mesopotamia, their largest structures are usually temples or royal palaces. But the Indus Valley Civilization is different. No giant palace, no massive royal statue, no enormous temple. The largest structure discovered there was something called the Great Bath, a giant public water tank. That tells us something important. These people may have valued cleanliness, public life, and civic order more than kings or monuments. Some historians even believe this may have been one of the world's earliest, relatively egalitarian societies, where the gap between rich and poor was surprisingly small. But every great story has a dark side. During excavations at Mohenjo-daro, archaeologists found something chilling: human skeletons scattered across streets and stairways. It looked as if death had arrived suddenly. People died where they stood. No one escaped. No one buried the bodies. And this raised a terrifying question. What happened here? Was it a flood? A deadly epidemic? Or, as some controversial theories suggest, a massive war remembered later in myths like the Mahabharata? Even today, the civilization refuses to give us all its secrets. The Indus script remains undeciphered. Thousands of seals have been discovered, carved with strange symbols and mysterious animals. Fish symbols, jar symbols, arrows, human-like figures. More than 400 unique signs have been identified. The problem is simple. We still don't have a Rosetta Stone for the Indus script. No bilingual translation has ever been found. Some scholars believe the language was an ancestor of Dravidian languages. Others connect it to early Indo-Aryan traditions. And some Western researchers argue that it may not even be a written language at all, just symbolic trademarkings. similar to logos or traffic signs. The truth is, we still don't know what these people were trying to say. Were those symbols sacred prayers? Trade records? Family names? No one knows. One of the strangest mysteries appears again and again on Harappan seals. A one-horned animal. Not a lion, not an elephant. A creature that looks like a bull but with a single long horn. Thousands of seals show this figure. So the question is obvious. Did unicorns exist in ancient India? Science says no. Maybe it was simply a side profile of a bull where the second horn wasn't visible. Or maybe it was a religious symbol, a sacred animal, or perhaps a symbol of elite merchants and powerful families. Something like a VIP emblem of the ancient world. Now let's move to Lothal in present-day Gujarat. In 1954, archaeologists uncovered what first looked like a giant brick reservoir. But when experts studied its engineering, they were stunned. It was probably the world's oldest known dockyard. The people of the Indus Valley were masters of hydraulic engineering. They built canals connecting rivers and the sea to the city. They even developed a tidal lock system, allowing ships to enter during high tide, while wooden gates trapped water inside when tides dropped, preventing vessels from getting stuck in mud. Seals found in Lothal connect the civilization to regions like Oman and the Persian Gulf. Ancient Mesopotamian texts mention trade with a mysterious land called Meluha. Many historians believe Meluha was the real name of the Indus Valley Civilization. These people were among the world's earliest international traders. They exported beads, ivory, peacocks, and luxury goods across ancient trade networks. Then came one of the most iconic discoveries of all, a tiny bronze statue just 10.5 centimeters tall. Today, the world knows her as the dancing girl of Mohenjo-Daro. She stands confidently, one hand on her hip, her chin slightly raised. She wears stacks of bangles running almost across her entire arm. British archaeologist Mortimer Wheeler once said that there's an extraordinary confidence in the way she stands, as if she completely understands the world around her. That single statue tells us something powerful. Women in this society may not have been as suppressed as many ancient cultures. These people understood art, fashion, metallurgy, and self-expression. And if you truly want to know whether a civilization was peaceful, look at its toys. The Indus Valley sites have yielded clay carts, whistles shaped like birds, animal figurines with moving heads, dice, and board games similar to chess, but very few weapons. No giant swords, no massive armor collections, no signs of endless warfare. This was a civilization focused more on trade, family, and daily life than conquest. For nearly 700 years, they thrived in relative peace. That's incredibly rare in human history. But around 1900 BCE, something began to change. The script started disappearing. The standard systems of measurement collapsed. Lothal's port began drying up. Illegal construction started appearing in once perfectly planned cities. The discipline that once held everything together was falling apart. And eventually, people began abandoning their homes. So what happened? For decades, one theory dominated history books. In 1944, British archaeologist Mortimer Wheeler proposed the Aryan invasion theory. He claimed horse-riding invaders from Central Asia attacked the peaceful Indus cities and destroyed the civilization. For years, this became the accepted narrative. But modern science tells a different story. The skeletons found at Mohenjo-Daro did not die at the same time. There were no large-scale weapon injuries suggesting mass slaughter. DNA evidence and newer archaeological studies also challenge the idea of a sudden violent invasion. So if war didn't destroy the civilization, what did? Many scientists now believe the real killer was climate change. The civilization depended not only on the Indus River but also on another massive river system, the Ghaggar-Hakra River, which some scholars associate with the legendary Saraswati River. Geological evidence suggests that major earthquakes altered river routes around 2000 BCE. Rivers shifted course, water sources dried up, the monsoon weakened. Imagine the psychological horror of watching your wells dry up, your crops fail, and your cities slowly collapse. This wasn't a sudden death. It was a slow extinction. Disease, famine, migration, and environmental collapse slowly broke the civilization apart. And then there's the internet's favorite theory. Did Mohenjo-Daro experience an ancient nuclear explosion? Some claim melted stones and radioactive ash prove the existence of advanced ancient weapons similar to the Brahmastra, described in the Mahabharata. But modern science does not support this theory. The melted materials were likely caused by extremely hot kilns used for pottery and brickmaking. No credible laboratory has confirmed abnormal radiation levels linked to nuclear activity. It's a fascinating story, but not scientific fact. As rivers disappeared and cities became unlivable, people migrated east and south toward the Ganga Plains in western India. Over generations, urban life faded. Writing systems disappeared. Trade networks collapsed. Knowledge was lost. Historians call this period the end of the first urbanization of the Indian subcontinent. But did the civilization truly vanish?
No.
The cities died. The people didn't. They became us. Many traditions still visible in Indian culture today, folded hand greetings, sindoor, reverence for sacred trees, symbolic animals, ornaments, and ritual customs may carry echoes of Harappan roots. The bricks of Harappa collapsed, but its cultural memory survived. Then came another groundbreaking discovery, Rakhigarhi in Haryana, one of the largest Harappan sites ever discovered. Between 2015 and 2016, archaeologists uncovered a 4,500-year-old female skeleton. Scientists extracted DNA from the inner ear bone, an incredibly difficult process. When the results were published in 2019, they triggered intense debate. The woman's DNA lacked significant steppe ancestry associated with later Indo-European migrations. Her genetic profile showed connections with populations related to both modern North and South Indians. Some interpreted this as evidence of deep genetic continuity in the subcontinent, but it's important to understand. Ancient DNA studies are complex, and historians still debate exactly how migration, culture, and language evolved in South Asia. History is rarely black and white. Now let's move to Sonauli in Uttar Pradesh. In 2018, archaeologists uncovered royal burials, copper swords, shields, helmets, and vehicles interpreted by some as chariots or carts. These discoveries challenge the stereotype that ancient Indian civilizations were only peaceful traders. They also open new discussions about the relationship between late Harappan cultures and early Vedic traditions. And now, 5,000 years later, here we stand in the 21st century. We have smartphones, satellites, bullet trains, but are we really smarter than the people of Harappa? Even today, modern cities flood after heavy rainfall. Drainage systems collapse, but the Harappans built urban sanitation systems thousands of years ago that still amaze engineers. Their story carries a warning. The Indus Valley Civilization was not destroyed by a powerful enemy. It was weakened by environmental change. Rivers dried up, climate shifted, ecosystems failed, and today humanity faces many of those same dangers again. Melting glaciers, water crises, changing weather patterns. The ruins of Harappa are still trying to tell us something. If civilization loses balance with nature, even the greatest cities can become mounds of the dead. And maybe that's the most haunting part of this story. When you fold your hands in greeting, when traditional rituals survive through generations, when ancient symbols still appear in modern culture, you are looking at echoes of a civilization that never truly disappeared. Because civilizations don't always die. Sometimes, they simply change form. The bricks of Harappa may lie buried beneath railway tracks and ruins, but its spirit still lives inside millions of people. Back in 1826, Charles Masson thought he had discovered ruins from the age of Alexander. What he had actually found was the forgotten beginning of our own story. We are Harappa,